Not happening.
Nope, not happening.
Nope, not even happening. Too cold out there to ride this morning, guys and gals. So sit down, have your cup of coffee here with HDR.
Thank you very much to the Smyrna Cowboy there for bringing me a great intro. Uh, Obviously, that was a replay intro because it's not really that cold right now in Smyrna, Tennessee. Anyway, guys, good morning, everybody, and welcome back again, my friends, to Coffee with HDR. This is show number 133 for August the 5th. Look, I tried to mess my hat up there. August the 5th, 2023. I'm your host, Jack, and we're going to be bringing you some exciting, interesting conversations today. I hope so. But yeah, good morning, everybody, and I hope everybody has their cup of coffee or their beverage. Thanks, Payne's Rides. You know, and the reason I turned my hat backwards, just for all transparency, the beak of it is always crooked. No matter what I do, it's like it's always not right. I recorded a video yesterday and I had my hat on and I was watching the video, my hat was tilted. So I think I'm going to actually probably have to quit wearing hats altogether. That could be pretty devastating to my life because I like wearing hats. But it will save on the bald spot on the top of my head. So anyway, there is that. Alrighty, let's go up here to the very top here. We're going to start with our good mornings and see who's in here with us this morning. We have another fine group on another Saturday morning here with Coffee with HDR. And so good morning to Ron Kelly. Good morning to Smyrna Cowboy. Good morning, one and all. I have to split 30 minutes in and go with my Geritol group. Oh, Geritol. I'm sorry. Geritol group. Uh, so we can ride before the rain moves in or it gets too hot. That's very important. Get that ride in early, man, and get out there. But sometimes it's like fishing, right? If the riding gets really, really good, you just don't want to come home. That's kind of where I was at yesterday. I had a great ride yesterday, and just cruising, man, the back roads and just having a good old time. Good morning to Payne's Rides. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ron Kelly, Captain Ed. Ron Kelly, good morning. Not riding much these days. Been nursing my wife back from a triple bypass a month ago. My friend, we will pray for you and for your wife, her speedy recovery. Man, that's that triple bypass. I remember my dad had a triple bypass some 100 decades ago now, but it's very it's doable to come back. And I can tell you what he did. Now, this might not work for your wife, but my dad actually, we were into golfing, not like golfers. We were into smacking a ball around a golf course. Is more like it, more like a hacker golfer. But my old man used to say when now he had his chest split open. I don't know how they do open heart bypasses today, but from swinging the club and him spinning a little bit, not much. My dad was not very fluent on his feet to spin much. I'm not either, but it helped his chest to regain muscle strength very quickly. So maybe take your wife out golfing, Ron. That might help out a little bit. Dean C, good morning. Two Wheel Rocket. Debbie is in there, and Debbie is leaving because she is going to yard sales today. She already sent me a text and said, I have to leave and go to yard sales. And I said, you should schedule everything, guys and girls out there, schedule everything for 9:30, okay? That way you can enjoy Coffee with HDR. You don't have to be rushed, okay? We don't want to be rushed out when you're enjoying Coffee with HDR. That's just silly. Be the Rider PA's in there. Good morning to you for sure. Pete's Moto Adventures, good morning. Chuck Henson, HDAV Traveler, Harley 103. Payne's Ride said also, Ron, tell your wife to have a speedy recovery. Pete's Moto's Adventures. Chuck Henson looks like you really are is getting poured on. Ty from Tennessee's in there. Good morning to Ty. Ty had an amazing video come out. And, many of us, and Ty hit a good point. Many times when you're doing YouTube and you're producing your videos, and you're trying to think what's next and what video you want to put out there, we don't get back to the grassroots much. And Ty, Ty very well clarified. I'm not going to go into what he said. You can watch his video, and I hope you do go over and check it out. But we don't get back to the grassroots of just moto vlogging. Moto vlogging, to me, the essence of moto vlogging, guys, is me riding around like when I showed you my childhood home. I showed you the airport where I used to fly airplanes out of, and I talked to you about flying. Moto vlogging in its core essence, and we talk about that a lot. We have what we call the five guy text group. Okay, so the five guy text group, we talk about that a lot. Is we make videos, um, you know, in a certain way, I guess. And you guys watch our channels. You know how we make videos, but we don't get back to that grassroots video much anymore, where we call it a subscriber video. So very simply put, a subscriber video is I'm talking to you. You subscribe to me for a reason, right? Something that you like about what I've talked about. And we're talking to you about our personal lives. Okay, that's a subscriber video because it's a one-on-one shot. So, but go watch Ty's video. He brings that up and he talks about it very, very well. So check that out. He has a lot of changes coming in his life, and if you want to know about those, you're gonna have to go watch the video. Bodine 52 is in the house. Good morning. Hopefully he got over his meltdown last night. Bodine was having a little meltdown over his new Senna 50C, and hopefully he's got that working out pretty well this morning. We've all tried to work with him last night, again on that five guy text group, and hanging out with each other and kicking ideas off of each other how to get that thing set up properly. And once you do get it set up, Bob, you're going to be very, very happy with it. Chuck Henson, Toby Northern's in the house. Good morning. Ron Kelly. Okay, got your Ron. Paints Rides. Oh, my HDR looks badass this morning because you love my hat, right? Danny's in the house. Pete Moto Venture, you must be using the webcam HDR. No, I'm actually using my 35 millimeter camera. And what I did was I readjusted it so the focal point. So, and Pete's Moto Ventures will understand this. I'm using an f-stop of 6.3 so I can catch more of the background. Has it changed me at all? I don't know, but I had it set before on a f-stop of 2.0, which means it blurred the background, but I wanted to have my fantastic, marvelous sign in the background that my daughter made for me several years ago, so I wanted to have that up there. So yeah, no webcam here today. Let's see, HEV Traveler, Will Henson, Be the Rider PA, HDR, your hat is a mess. Thanks, buddy. Bodine, the real Jackie boys in the house. Good morning. Jamon's in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Be the Rider PA got a Jeep. Wow, the whole new world of YouTube people. And I don't believe Be the Rider PA got a Jeep. He would have never sold his pickup truck. Bodine said, real light, Jack, but sure. But you got, oh yeah, too light? Okay, hold on. Let's fix this. I know why. Hold on a minute. Okay, that should have cleaned that up right away. My key lighting was too high, so, oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Thanks, Bob. All right. Ron Kelly said I went through the same meltdown, Bodine. Took about 5 hours to get it straightened out. Too much contrast. I got it now, though. Is it good? We should be looking a lot better there this morning. Yeah, okay. You guys are saying it looks good now. Yeah, my key light was way too high, man. I'm sorry about that. I just looked and you guys also know I have the ISO setting up a little bit. The ISO settings play about 400. So what that does is allows extra light into the lens from the ambient light. He said ambient. So anyway, why are people texting me in the middle of a show? That would be, let's see who that is. Jim. Jim. Yep. And he... Folks, this is what happens when you retire right here. You see that? Can't see it. It won't focus. That's Jim's new truck. Man, I tell you what. These guys that work for Harley Davidson, that are multimillionaires, they just go and buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. Man, congratulations on the new Jeep, buddy. I know why you got rid of your big pickup truck, so I was going to call you to haul some wood for me, and I guess now you can't, right? Because you don't have any room in that bed. But I tell you, millionaires. You retire and then you buy. That's what you do, right? So I wish I could retire and start buying stuff, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Right? I didn't even know Jeep still made a pickup truck, unless it looks like it's new. I guess it's new, but anyway. No, congratulations, man. I can't wait to see it. You're going to have to come over and visit, bring your toolbox. You know, we have some work to do, so come on over to the house and bring your new truck over so I can, and let me take you for a spin. And make sure you buy a lot of rubber duckies. You have to buy, if you're a Jeep owner, guys, I don't know if you know this or not. You know how we wave to other motorcycles? We give a peace sign or hand down, right? We wave, and sometimes we nod, because if you're on the clutch, you'll be like, yeah, you just give a little nod, right? Because you're on the clutch. You can't let go of the clutch. Well, Jeep owners have these little rubber duckies, and they put them on other Jeep owners' Jeeps, right? It's like, you've been ducked. And it's cute, right? Jeep owners do that. It's a cute thing they do. Harley owners wave to each other because it's a manly thing to do. So no, I'm just saying. No, Jeep owners do that. Taking it out mudding. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to go mudding with Be the Rider PA. We're going to do some video of us four-wheeling in his new Jeep. You know, I think he's reliving his old Army days. That's what he's doing. And I know I used to ride around in the old Army Jeep all the time, man. They were dangerous on the highway because you would go around the bend, and they were prone to flipping, just the way the springs were built in those things, and it was very light on the top of the Jeep. And you know, that's why they outdated them, got rid of them, and brought in the Humvees, because the Humvees are heavier and they stay on the road better. So let's see here. Be the RPA said Jeep Gladiator Willys. Okay, cool. Yeah, nothing like a Willys Jeep. Yeah, Be the Mudder PA. Thanks, Bob. That's a great title for him. Be the Mudder PA. Wonderful title. Man. I spun a Jeep once. Very scary stuff, Panzer. I said, I've seen Army guys going down the turnpike, and we'd come around a bend and you'd see an Army Jeep flipped. And guys, the devastating thing about an Army Jeep was there was no roll bars, and it had a soft top on it. So, and a collapsible windshield, so they would just crush anybody that was under the thing. And very, very sad. Lost a lot of friends to Jeep accidents. You know, but that was the old Army Jeeps, and the tires, just heard somebody outside shooting. You know, whenever you hear a shot, remember it was like the shot heard around the world. Remember that? Well, the dogs are going crazy outside, so somebody was shooting. Hopefully it was a shot. Well, no, hopefully it was a shot. We have a lot of game lands around here. I don't think there's any hunting in right now for sure. And we also have a lot of woods around here, so people do go out and shoot their firearms, you know, just have a good time, you know. Be the Rider PA said, Pete, go check them out. They got some room, maybe some fun. Ron Kelly says, does this make him a mutter trucker? Be the Rider PA is now a mutter trucker. Man, that's a good one. You guys are on top of it this morning, you know. Did they call those Jeep Willies? Smyrna Cowboy. Yeah, and that's what he said. It's a Jeep Willie. So the reason they call them that is they have a lot of power. And Be the Rider PA, you know how he tears into engines. So I'm sure he'll be spiffing the engine up, putting some blowers on there and stuff, and it will be doing wheelies going down the highway. So, but very interesting stuff. I didn't even know he was in the market for a new truck. He doesn't tell me. He never talks to me. He never calls me. We never chat. How'd you like that dramatic pause? Yeah, we never chat much. I don't know. I don't know anything about going on with him there for sure. So, but anyway. So, just seeing what's going on here today. Oh yeah, he's gonna put a hood scoop on it. There you go, man. Now you're talking for sure. Now you're talking for sure. The end of the world starts today in Washington, PA. Payne says, "Well, yeah, that shot was heard around the world there today, buddy. Just never know anymore. You hear a gunshot go off, and the first thing you think, and it's sad in this world, in this time that we live in. First thing you think is, wow, who got shot? Right? We live in a very low crime rated community, neighborhood, compound. Anyway, all real Jeeps need the snorkel thing. Oh yeah, you have to have the snorkel thing on the Jeep, like they do. They do that in Australia, right? You always see the the air breather coming up above the roof. And I asked an Australian once. I said, "Why do you do that?" And he said, "Oh man, we ride in the bloody marsh sometimes, and we go down into the water with our Jeeps, and that's cool, you know." Then that way, sometimes the water is all the way up into the engine compartment. The engine can still breathe and still move on. So Motor Rambling. Motor Rambling's in the house. I just watched your video this morning, buddy. Absolutely great video. You guys out there do these videos, and Motor Rambling is, he should have, I don't know where he got Motor Rambling at. He should have been Moto Camping, period. Because this guy will camp no matter where he goes. And I have been planning a solo camping trip, and now you know that I'm going back to work in about a week and a half. So it's just not going to happen. It's just, I don't know. I guess I talked myself out of it. I guess I'm not as brazen as you guys, as brave, right? I packed up my tent, and like I like going with Mrs. HDR. I like going as a couple, right, with someone. But to go alone and get out there, and you go alone, and you go and I don't know. I keep thinking a bear's going to eat me, or maybe a deer's going to come over and like rip my tent down and smash me with its hoofs, or a coyote's going to come up there and like be sniffing around, be like, "Oh, human," and just drag me out of my tent and eat me up or something. So I don't know. And you wouldn't think that, right? You wouldn't think, well, in the army, you think this is an old army guy. He probably tented a lot. Yeah, but I always had a buddy to tent with. And I had a whole platoon to tent with. I felt relatively safe. So I don't know. So and you probably say you watch Motor Rambling do it. And he woke up, man. He has the camera on him. And guy, I don't know. Motor Rambling has his camera crew with them because now let me tell you how I know this. How I know Motor Rambling has a camera crew. So he wakes up and he's laying there on his pillow. He's not moving, and somebody's already filming him. They got the camera on him, and he's like, "Yeah, good morning," and like, there's nobody there. So I know he has a camera crew. He's like Itchy Boots, right? Itchy Boots has that camera crew. She has that helicopter flies around and videos her from aerial shots, and she has an editing crew running around with her. She doesn't. I know that, but Motor Rambling does. He has a camera crew. Good job, Motor Rambling. I only heard donkeys. They won't eat me. Yeah, donkeys. You wake up in the morning and hear donkeys. It's like, oh. You're like, who ever heard of wild donkeys? Right? I didn't even know there was a thing as wild donkeys. So, anyway, thanks, Jack. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. But yeah, guys, go over and watch Motor Rambling's new video of him out doing a solo camping trip. And it was a one night. And I didn't understand. Is it a one nighter and you're traveling somewhere? You're going, you're packed up and went? Or did you just go out one night to camp? Um, you know, yeah, I mean, but very interesting stuff. And he took his Honda Goldwing and rides it right in the dirt. That's a motorcyclist there, guys. If you could dirt bag and get out there and get your motorcycles and ride through the dirt and you're on a bagger, you are really, really talking. So, but yeah, good stuff, buddy. And I appreciate your efforts there for sure. Having a donkey does sound cool, actually. Yeah, but what would you do with it? What would you do with a donkey? Not that this is the donkey channel. We're supposed to be talking about motorcycling here. Oh, on the way to visit my mom, had extra time for trips now. Oh, great, buddy. Great. Glad you're out there. And I understand from the shed that Motor Rambling is retired, and he's a very young man. So I'm glad you worked that out in your life, that you retired as a very young guy. And I don't see me. Well, I know when my retirement date is. It's very close at hand. I just have to get through a little bit more of that work stuff. But anyway, anyone else knows HDR's flashy HDR hat logo. Yeah, did you notice that little logo up there? Oh, what flashy? Flashy HD. Oh, Harley Davidson. Yeah, logo right there. Uh, Thanks again. Retirement has been awesome so far. Good deal, buddy. All right. Yeah, I know it's still crooked, guys. I know. I know. Watch. Look at that hair, man. Holy crap. I don't get it. So anyway, let's just do this. Then that way I know it's crooked, right? There we go. Now we're talking. So anyway, oh, it was flashing. My logo was flashing. It was probably trying to focus on it. That might be what happened there. Uh, yeah. Don't you get mad when you come back in a video? I came back. I did a video one day, a garage video. Hold on, I gotta fix this. All right. So I came back one day and I did a garage video, right? And uh, yeah, thanks guys. Now you're in my head. You're right. You are. So anyway, I did a garage video, and I came in, and Mrs. HDR said, "Wow, I hope that tag on the back of your shirt didn't show in your video." And son of a gun, if it didn't. The tag on the back of my shirt was actually up, and it was like, oh my goodness. So it was in the video. So I had to go back out to the garage and reshoot the whole entire video. Holy crap, this is a whole new side of HDR. What do you think about this hat, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I call myself Walker, Texas HDR. Walker, Texas HDR. Anyway, I should wear this to rallies and stuff, right? So people will recognize me, be like the man with the hat. So, anyhow. So, what has been going on? I told you guys, I think recently, maybe that was as early as this week? Last week. I don't know. Yeah, I do too, Ty. I hate when stuff gets in the video, or you go to look at your video and there's something in the background, you're like, oh crap. And you think I can blur it out in post, right? Or maybe I just need to reshoot the video. So it does happen. Um, is that approved for highway use? It is approved. It is approved. It is .2 certified, not .3. .2 certified hat. Um, it's got padding at the top. It doesn't have a chin strap. That's a problem. But other than that, it is what it is, right? So, well, I came back of screen watching The Godfather. Good morning. Today we're going to talk about motorcycles and riding them. Yeah. Now, if you don't ride it properly, you get snuffed out. Talking to The Godfather. Anyway, but yeah, so talking about motorcycles, I don't know if I told you guys about hitting that pothole. I think I told you last week about my shock being stuck and taking it to my independent guy. And apparently the head bearing, he loosened it up, and he loosened the shocks up, and he felt that the shock springs actually compressed and they wouldn't come back apart. Okay. So that's one problem. The second problem is I'm riding, and if you watched my video, and if you haven't, I don't know why, watch my video. I was out riding the Harley. Pay attention to the gauge cluster. And if you haven't noticed that, go back and watch it again. I told Mrs. HDR last night, she's like, that damn gauge cluster, that son of a gun piece of garbage. She said, you need to get rid of that bike, get rid of that fairing altogether, and get something without a fairing so you're not looking at it. So she said, why don't you get one of them Road Kings that just have a windshield and the gauges are on the tank? They can't be crooked. They're always on the tank. And she has a very, very good point. And if you watch the video I did on the Lowrider ST. Love the motorcycle for sure. Okay, the drawback is it does have a fairing. And a lot of you say, I know Be the Rider PA calls me all the time, we talk about this, is about having a motorcycle without a fairing. He believes you can't tour on a motorcycle without a fairing. I see a lot of guys touring on Road Kings. So I don't think that would be a problem. And with the new Senna 50C, guys, I was on the Himalayan yesterday and I was jamming the music, man. I was like, and there's no fairing on the Himalayan. There's a windshield, and I can still listen to music. I use my navigation. I can still listen to the navigation in my headset. So to me, that's just getting in the way, really. And I know it's great, but why is it up there? The only reason that fairing is up there, what is there, guys? There's two gauges on it: your voltage and your, I don't know what the other, I can't remember what the other one is. Temperature, I don't know. See, I don't even pay attention to them. And the unusable boombox radio system, which you can't hear on the highway anyway. So, um, she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be as. No, I think you're wrong, my Dun Life. She would be just as comfortable on the Road King because it's the exact same motorcycle as the touring motorcycles. And what we're going to do is we're putting a tour pack with the seat and everything on the back, so it will be the exact same seat, right? I'm going to put a Mustang seat on it if I get one. So the Mustang seat has a bigger passenger seat anyway, so she would probably be more comfortable on the Road King, or just as comfortable as what she is right now. Um, so we'll see how it works out, but that's why I'm looking at it because I'm just tired of fighting with this fairing stuff. I've been tearing it apart. When I hit the pothole, it took the fairing, I believe, and it shifted it, right? It hit so violently that the front end bottomed out. It compressed the spring and stuck it. And even when you release the springs, the gauges are still just a little to the right, just enough to drive me insane when I'm riding that motorcycle. So that's one thing that's going on with it. Okay. HDR gauges are not crooked. As we have seen in 134 episodes, HDR's head is crooked. Thanks, Jackie boy. I love you too, buddy. Right? I'm glad we're really close friends. Thanks. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, so maybe my head is just crooked. I don't know. Oh dang, I want to be there when you get there, Payne. What's Payne's doing? Payne's rides is in. Remember, I made it happen yesterday. Just noticed they tried to pull a fast one on the dill. Going to kick someone's ass when I get there today. My wife tours on her Super Chief Limited. There you go, right? Super Chief Limited. Loves it, but I can't find out what you just said there. Loves it, but it's smaller and it fits her well. There you go, Chuck. So that makes sense. So it's a Road King Ultra. Well, it's a Road King that's going to be able, like the tour pack will only be on when we travel. I'll have a backrest on other times. So if that happens, have you guys watched any of my recent videos? Trying to buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle is probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. Guys, I just want to walk in and say, here's my trade. Give me X for it. Take the X off that new bike's, price and finance it, and I want to be out of here. Guys, buying a motorcycle today takes longer than purchasing a home. When we purchased our home, we sat in the real estate attorney's office, some shit, I don't know what we were in, for like days signing papers, right? Buying a motorcycle today is the same way. Why can't I just walk in and buy a motorcycle? I mean, I don't go to the grocery store and spend 5 hours haggling over a price of a gallon of milk, right? You just see the price, you'll buy it, and you'll walk out. But the experience has been so bad that I just don't want to go. It's funny, a little neighbor boy came down yesterday, and he was here, and he was chatting to me. I was getting ready to do a garage video. And he said, "Hey, Mr. HDR." And I said, "Yeah," because that's what all the kids in the neighborhood call me. And I said, "Yeah, buddy." I said, "What's up?" He goes, "I never see you riding that big bike that much anymore." He said, "You're always riding that new little black bike back there, that little bike." And I said, "Well," I said, "probably because that little bike doesn't have any real issues. I just get on it and ride." Now, it does have, it's weird. Sometimes the Himalayan will stall on you. You could be at the weirdest place. I was sitting in this line of traffic yesterday, went, and it just stalled for no apparent reason. But that's the charm of the Himalayan, right? you just hit the restart button and start her back up and move on. And then you think, I need to sell this piece of crap too, because what is going on with my beloved Himalayan? Weird shit, man. Why would it just stall? Like, no reason whatsoever. Just, you know. So there is that. And it's unexpected. You just don't know when it's going to happen, so you got to be careful. You got to always ride the Himalayan thinking it's going to stall. Just put that in your mind, right? So if you're sitting in traffic, if you're going to make a turn, you're going to pull up on a hill and you go to turn the throttle, it may just stall, okay? And you might just crash and get hurt really badly. Hopefully the bike gets screwed up so you can replace it with something that actually runs. No, the Himalayan has been fine. I do love the Himalayan. I love riding it. Guys, I rode it yesterday at like 75 miles. Did my back hurt? Oh shit, yeah. My back hurts so bad I could barely get out of bed this morning because you're still hunched over a little bit. There's no driver's backrest. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, even with the $300 seat upgrade I did. But it's motorcycles, right? We ride motorcycles because we love it. We get out there, get the wind in our hair, and we just enjoy it so much. Who cares about the little things that happen, right? All right. Anyway, let's first go into HDR. You are so right. It does seem to take all day. It does. It takes all day to buy a motorcycle. Just let me go in. And on my recent videos, I have had dealers actually reaching out to me, and that's been great. I'm trying to get the location of these dealers. The one dealer told me they can do the whole deal over the phone, and they said you could write the check at home and bring it in. There's no hidden charges. Just bring the check in, and you can drive the motorcycle out within a half hour. You'll be done. We can do all the paperwork over the phone and over the internet. So that's fantastic. And I have some thoughts on that. But let's play this intro one more time here.
Not happening.
Nope, not happening.
Nope, not even happening. Too cold out there to ride this morning, guys and gals. So sit down, have your cup of coffee here with HDR.
Yeah, and you guys are bringing this up now, and I see some of these in there, and I don't want this to be really, well, I don't know. This is a place where you can openly express your opinions, okay? Don't ever hold back on your opinions here. So, buying a used bike isn't as painful, Moto Ramley said. Panzer says, plus it's an insult to my intelligence that they thought a fast one could be pulled on me. That's wrong. Harley 103 said, go with a suitcase full of cash and tell them that you don't want to speak to anyone but the salesman. You'll be in and out pretty fast. Toby, thanks. I got the mid-show in. I will say when I bought the Pan America, I told them the price I would pay out the door. And that's always a good thing, too. I got myself into a good situation. Motor was out to V-Storm a couple days ago. It took a dirt nap several times. Somebody says, Bob, good morning, Bob. You said you love the Hemi Charm. Have the Signals version. How fast can you be in New Haven, Connecticut? Wow, 2 cuss words in one episode. This is now a PG-13 show. Love the new hat. Ricky KM said, ditch the baseball cap. Thank you. Kidding about cuss word. Toby, don't worry about it. That's all right. Buying my Road Glide took a day, and I paid cash, Bob said. So, yeah, I didn't know this either. When you go in to a dealer, guys, I've been researching this stuff up and down, forwards and backwards. That's where these videos came out from me recently. And I would have never created, well, the first video was very much how Harley Davidson is making all their dealerships are going to look alike. Okay, that is very true. That's factual. There's a dealership very close to me here in Pittsburgh, PA. They're already under construction, and they had pictures of the finished building, and it's exactly the picture that I put on the internet. So on my thumbnail. So that's the exact thing that they're building. Now they're a mega store too, right? This Harley Davidson dealer, from what the comments have said, and I have a couple people from Pittsburgh's been saying, HDR, don't ever go to that dealer and buy a bike because they're awful and they suck. I like the people there. We went a couple times for like chili cook-offs. Everybody seemed pleasant and very nice. I've never purchased anything there larger than a t-shirt. Okay. So, but what I didn't realize in doing this research, you guys are talking about walking with a thing of cash and telling me you want to see a salesperson. You don't. You want to see the sales manager. Only the sales manager can sell you a motorcycle in a Harley shop. Okay. Everybody else is what they call fitment people. So what a fitment person is, they fill you out. Okay. Can you afford to buy that Road Glide Limited? Okay. So maybe they can fill you out and say you really can't afford to buy that. So let's put you on a Sportster that you're going to come in here and trade in 3 months because you're going to outgrow it. Okay, let's do that. Or they'll put you on a Softail, or they'll put you on a Road King, right? They're the fitment person to make you comfortable with the motorcycle you want to buy. Once the deal's ready to be closed, boom, it goes to the sales manager, okay? The DM of the shop, right? You have to go into his office or her office. That's who sells you the motorcycle. Nobody else can sell you a motorcycle in that place. So if they hired all salespeople, guys, they wouldn't be able to afford to stay open and stay in business. So that's very, very interesting. Toby Northern says, pains rise, laugh out. No worries. I'm referring to HDR saying S star star T twice in this episode. Laugh out loud, but the Godfather, don't mess with him. Yeah, but anyway. If I go to that dealer wearing that hat, you will get a good deal. Now, when you think of the mafias and cut the deal they can't refute, that's a good idea. I might have to wear this hat. I'm here to buy a motorcycle. They're usually called the finance manager. Yeah, that's some wording they use, finance manager. Watch the video I got coming out tomorrow. It's going to explain all about Harley Davidson finance. And I didn't know doing my research too. And you guys, I tell you guys because you're my close knit community here, right? We do these live streams every Saturday, and you guys are always here, and I appreciate that. So I tell you things that the general YouTube audience that I have does not know or does not see or maybe don't even care about, right? So, but in doing the research for this next topic I got coming up, what I could tell you is it's very interesting because Harley Davidson Corporation does tell, they do tell the dealers exactly how they can run their franchise, okay? But when you'll see in these videos, the wording is so loose, guys, they could charge you $250,000 for a CVO. And if they can get it off of you, they can have it, right? It's just the simple truth. I mean, so, but watch it. I brought out a lot of interesting facts I found. I did a lot of research, a lot of digging, and, you know, and I think we talk all the time about doing YouTube videos. Like a lot of people said, well, HDR, why didn't you do a oil change video on your Harley? Because you change your own oil. Because I'm not a mechanic, I'm not fluent enough, and I don't want to show you something that I did or that I might not have done that was wrong, okay? And so I don't want to teach you something that's not true, okay? So in doing these last couple topics I decided to do, and the only thing that spiked this was I want to buy a new motorcycle, right? How hard can it be? People have told me go to Indian because Indian motorcycles, you walk in the door, they say, that bike right there is $22,000. That's what you pay, and you leave with it. Okay, you do have tax, title, and transfer fees and stuff like that for your state, but you pay exactly what's hanging on the bike. Go buy an Indian. Go buy a Honda Road King, a Honda Road King, a Honda Goldwing, which is that's fine too, right? Maybe I'll look at that. Go buy a Yamaha or Kawasaki touring adventure bike. I've never heard of these bikes, but people seem to love them. And I can tell you what they do all have in common over the Harley. They all got reverse. I've told you guys before about bad knees and backing up a 900-pound motorcycle, pushing it even up a small grade. I would love to have a reverse, right? My independent guy will put a reverse on my Harley for $2,000. He said, not a problem. I'll put it on and it'll work just fine. So I do have options. And don't get me wrong, I love my Harley, right? There's just little things that's screwing up on it that I can't deal with, okay? I'm going to show you a picture right now of something I found yesterday. So myself and Miss HR was getting ready to go on this big motorcycle adventure. Okay, we were going to load the bike up, pack it down, and we were going to take off and go on this big adventure. Last big hurrah before I go back to work. So I went out. I was looking at the Harley. Well, the tour pack seemed to be a little loose, right? And I thought, well, that's happened before, right? Because I was stupid and I put quick disconnect mounts on my Harley. Don't ever do that. When a motorcycle comes to you guys and it's all bolted together, leave it the hell alone, okay? Don't unbolt stuff to put on stupid things. So I decided to put this quick disconnect mount on from Advent Black. Now it's solid. It's a good. Don't get me wrong. Advent Black is a great company. I would buy anything from them. A lot of you have. Very, very good people. Well, we'll find out Monday because I got to call for to order just the mounting bolts. Now the reason is I went out and I decided I'm going to tighten up these bolts because we got this big trip coming up, right? I can live with the gauge being crooked. I'll just look over the windshield. I just won't look down. I'll be fine. That's not a big deal because the bike is running absolutely superb, and I've been really, really happy with my Harley Davidson motorcycle. I can't complain. But this happened. Here, let me show you this. So hopefully here, let me see if it comes up on the screen. I'm going to cut me out here for a minute. There we go. So what you're looking at right here is the mounting bolts that go into your tour pack, okay? The little chrome piece at the top is the quick disconnect mount that I put in probably 2 years ago now. I don't know. Go back in the videos, you'll find it. If you look at that very front bolt, okay? I don't know what they made these bolts out of, if they made them out of licorice or if they made them out of dark milk chocolate. I have no damn idea, but this is really, really disturbing to me, okay? Now, when you go to tighten a bolt up and there's no head, you have to start wondering what the hell happened to the head of the bolt, right? Where did it go? I thought the bolt fell out. That would make sense. Okay, I didn't tighten it. Maybe I didn't put Loctite on it, and the bolt just fell out, right? I'll just put a new one in. Well, after investigating it a little bit, I found out that the bolt, the head actually sheared off the bolt, okay? So there, you see it there coming up on your screens. The head actually sheared off the bolt. And there's no way I'm going to get that out of there, right? So I contacted Be the Rider PA. He says, send me pictures. And Ty from Tennessee, the in-laws are on their way to help paint. Have a great day, everybody. Ty, tell them get painting. You got to watch a video here. Ty, I don't understand. Say, Dad, Mom, the rollers are in the bag in there. Get started, and I'll be in a half hour. All right. Anyway. So I went to tighten this thing up, and I found this bolt sheared off. I did get a hold of Be the Rider PA, and he said, well, we could probably drill that out of there, right? Take that broken bolt out. And let's see. Painsrod said, one thing about a new bike, it's good to go as is. I'm not going to be messing around with anything anywhere near like I did with the Victory. There's no need. Just open the doors to problems. Yeah, so this is a problem that I'm having right now with the motorcycle. So what happens is with this problem, right, of that bolt being sheared off, and it's funny because it is tight, but what's making me have a problem with this whole thing, what's making me have a problem with this whole thing is I just don't feel it's safe. Okay. So that wonderful, gorgeous ride we're going to have once again is blown to hell because there's some I can't blame Harley for that because it's my screw up, right? Guys, I'm telling you, please, please, please. Outside of maybe putting some lights on your bike, you're going to plug and play those lights. That's fine. Don't change any of the body stuff, man. Don't put on new fenders. Don't put on the extended bags. Don't put on extended fenders. Forget all that stuff. Because as soon as you turn a wrench on that bike, it's going to be screwed up, right? Harley likes to super glue their bolts in. They generally don't come out. If they do, we take them out, put a little Loctite, and put them right back in. So be very, very, very careful. Anyone considering the new Dosmos 4 Action Cam? I believe that Pete's Adventures just bought that camera, My Done Life. So if you want to get a hold of him, he'll tell you about that. So. But anyway, yeah, so that's the reason why that we are not going on our long, fabulous motorcycle trip. We're going to go, but we're probably going to take the car The car is relatively safe. It doesn't seem to have parts falling off of it. So, and many of you may say, and I've told Miss HDR, the bike is getting older. It is a 2018. Things are going to start breaking and falling apart. That's just the way they work. Plus, it's almost paid off. You guys know that. As soon as you pay something off, I mean, the engine will probably fall out of it, I would guess. It's probably what's going to happen. Um, Chuck said, that's what I like about Indian. They come with a quick release from the. And Chuck, I seen that. So I was like, wow, that is cool. And I'm not sure, but I think the CVO Road Glides, I think the CVO Harleys come with a quick disconnect already there. Um, but the truth of it is, and I bought that little backrest for it. It does remove 60 pounds when you remove the Tour pack off the motorcycle, and that's wonderful for weight distribution. So when I'm riding around myself, Mrs. HR went on a trip. She said, just doesn't feel like the bike's pulling back, right? She said it just doesn't feel so heavy without the Tour pack on it. So I do like removing it. In hindsight, the truth is, like Bronco Ride will tell you, and Bronco Ride told us when I did it, most people that put a quick disconnect mounting brackets on their motorcycle, they put the Tour pack back on, never take it off anyway. And that's been pretty much the truth. So I did talk to Miss HDR. We are going to go out and take it off. Because of the broken bolt, I don't want the weight on there. So I wanted to take the Tour pack off and probably not have anything on the back of it right now until I get that mount fixed. That would alleviate me losing the Tour pack going down the roadway. That would be devastating. Until I can get that bolt fixed. So I am going to call Advent Black tomorrow or Monday. I'm sorry, Monday, and see if they can't possibly let me just order the 4 new bolts that mounts that thing to the bike. So the Ultra I bought used. What I did was maintenance, lightings, and handlebars. I do plan to do the suspension, but other stuff will have to remain stock. Yeah, I would definitely suggest suspension. I would suggest that. Um, yes, I'm putting the trailer back in operation. And I wish we had a trailer for this trip, guys, because we're going away, um, and we're going to be taking a short trip just to get away before I have to go back to work. And if I had a trailer, I would hook it on the back of my car, and I would actually pull the Harley with me. So, you know, like I said, I would take the Tour pack off, just stick the little rider's backrest on it, and at least have a motorcycle to ride up around where we're going. So that's going to be kind of sad. But I told Miss HDR it's more of the fact that not so much moto camping is why I'm doing this. That's not why I wanted to do it. I mainly wanted to get that last hurrah of another motorcycle trip in, but more than that, I wanted to just go away. We have a fantastic place. I hope that we're staying. You never know until you get there. And we're going to be able to see a lot of exciting things around there where we're going. So, taking the car is okay. We do have a lot of good camping gear. Like we bought a new camping stove a couple years ago that we can take for cooking and stuff. Then we don't have to use the little, backpacking burner thing that doesn't work that well. So, Harley 103. What do you mean, Jack? Harley owners do add-ons or change? Yeah, do Harley owners do add-ons or change motors? I don't think so. Huh. Motorama said motorcycle camper, pull it with the bike or the car. There you go. That's pretty cool. Oh, Jarvis said his toy hauler. There you go. Now you're talking. Toby said, I've also been watching videos on the Osmo, waiting to see about the Hero 12. Uh, but I've had problems with GoPro and kind of want to try something else. I would suggest to go to the DJI Osmo cameras, especially if my GoPro's weird, man. I was out the other day recording a video, and I was recording the ending on my handlebar camera, and I'm talking like this, and I looked down. It was totally locked up. It didn't record any of it, right? It'll work fine, and it just locks up for no apparent reason. And I don't understand it. Some people say as the batteries get older, guys, they swell up. So keep buying new GoPro batteries, I guess, is the answer. I don't know. Get Andy or Big O to come up and help you drop the rear fender. It will make getting that bolt out easier. reassembling it with Loctite and torque it to spec. Yeah, real Jackie boy. Bingo is talking about it there. Bingo's Be the Rider PA. He was talking about us putting a jack under it, I guess, and jacking it up to get the weight off or something, and drill it out, and then um, that's. But I want to order the new mounting bolts so we can have those, and I'm going to replace all four of them and put Loctite on them. Because he said it could have been loose, and I guess, and I know, obviously, I guess it was loose. And as that tour pack jarred, if something's loose, it just snapped it right off. But who in the hell's making these bolts these days? Why would you make a bolt that can snap? Aren't they made out of like titanium steel or something? You know, like Superman shouldn't be able to break these bolts. Why in the hell would a bolt just snap off on a motorcycle? Doesn't seem very safe, does it? I thought about putting back on my standard tour pack mount. I still have it. But I gave Road Glide Andy my LED light with the license plate light from from Custom Dynamics, because when I relocated my plate, I moved the light, and Jarvis Biker yelled at me for that because he said now you can get charged at every single toll charge, because if your license plate's up under your tour pack, the license plate readers on the toll roads can't see it, so you don't get charged. When I moved mine, now they can see it clearly. So I thought about putting the rigid mount back on and just taking all that quick disconnect stuff off of there and maybe doing a giveaway or something. Somebody can have it, or maybe I'll sell it outright or do something with it. But there's so much to think about. It's unfortunate, but GoPro has been getting a bad reputation lately for losing footage of cameras locking up, looking into an Insta360 or DJI Osmo. Brian, good morning to you. Sorry, just don't ever be sorry, bud. Better late than never. How is the seat cover working out, guys? The seat cover is 100% a buy. Definitely buy it. Go back at my video. There's a discount code on there. Plus, they're still selling those for half off right now. So I think they're like $80. And then you'll get like another 10 or 15% off of that. But buy it, buy it, buy it. Mrs. A-Star even absolutely loves that seat cover. She said it gives it a little bit more cushioning, right? So it's a little softer, and it stays very, very cool to the touch. So your bike can sit outside all day in the sun. You go out and jump on it, and the seat is very, very cool. So definitely worth it. Pete Motor Adventure, look at it like this. How many more GoPros are being used as opposed to Osmos? Many, many thousands of GoPros are being used. But sometimes, Pete, that is the problem, right? Once a brand has the name reputation, they don't have to have quality anymore. All they got to do is keep pushing out product, and people are going to buy them. Take, in fact, the iPhone. iPhone 15 is released. Oh my God, let's go buy it. I just had the iPhone 14. I don't care. I want the 15. I want it. I want it. Because guys will do that. I see guys with GoPros do it all the time, right? Guys, I'm a true believer. You can be using, right here, look, you can be using this. I'm going to show you something. And I don't use this anymore. You can be using the Hero 3 Plus right here, okay? This is one of my GoPros I used to use, right? If you're recording good content with good audio and people like what you have to say, you could still be using this Hero 3 Plus, right? So what I'm saying is you can spend $100 million on audio and camera equipment. If the content's not there, it's not there, okay? So be careful, right? I tell everybody, let your channel dictate what you're doing, okay? Let your channel dictate of what you're buying. Don't just buy to buy, okay? We all get caught up in that, right? I need a 360 camera. Why? Because that guy and that guy and that guy has one. I got to have it. I need it. And then people find you got to edit the footage on a tablet and then save it, export it, and then edit it on your editor. And they're like, this is a lot of work. Well, yeah, maybe you didn't know that to begin with, right? So, because I tell you what, people that buy expensive stuff, I've learned from my experience, never really talk down about it because they want you to screw up and buy the expensive stuff too, right? They may hate it. You'll never know that. They'll do a video. It's like, this is absolutely the best thing in the world since toast. So be careful buying stuff out there. Don't just buy it to buy it. When you buy better cameras, better video equipment, unless you're buying that, unless you're buying that for your vacations or you want to have stuff for keepsakes maybe you're recording your kids, that's fine. But if you're doing it for YouTube, let the channel dictate what you buy, okay? Having $100 million worth of videos is not, unfortunately, and I've learned this, I've done it. So it's not gonna, it's not gonna make anybody click on that video to start watching it because they can't see it until they click on it. Then that's where your really good cameras come in to play, right? So, but anyway, that's just my thought process on it. So just be careful. Spend the money, spend the money if you have to spend it. If something's broken, then buy something new. But I always said if it's not broken, it doesn't need fixed, right? If your audio is good and you can see your video, then you're fine. So just something to think about. Wish GoPro would make more motovlogging friendly cameras, wireless microphone options. I do wish GoPro would, and I don't know why. GoPro will not license. Why don't GoPro and Sena license together? They got two great products. GoPro has a superior camera. Sena has the superior Bluetooth audio recording capabilities. Put those two together. Oh my God, you'd be able to mount that GoPro anywhere on the bike or on your helmet, talk through your Bluetooth Sena, and your audio will go right into that GoPro. Win-win situation, guys. But they will not do it. So, but anyway. Motor Emily said, I'm still using Hero 7, working well for me. I still do also. Hero 7, I think you can see it on the side here, right there. I use the Hero 7. They do lock up occasionally, but I'm used to that, right? Just like the Himalayan stalling. I'm kind of used to it now. It could stall. My GoPro could lock up. So, then you work with it, whatever video you have left, and whatever. Throw some voiceovers in or whatever you got to do. But Jarvis Biker said, I've been using Hero 11s all this year, and I like them. The remote has bricked twice under warranty, though. There you go, Jarvis. And Jarvis has one of the best motovlogging setups you're going to ever see. And Jarvis, this is what I wish. I wish you would do a video on how you actually have your Sena receiver going directly into one of your GoPros, or you're recording your audio in Bluetooth into a GoPro. It's an interesting setup. He has charging cables all over his motorcycle. I looked at his bike the one day, and there had to be at least, I don't know, 20 charging cables going across the handlebars, across his seat, up over his shoulders. No, but Jarvis does, and I wish, Jarvis, you would do a video on that. That would be a quality video, right? I need that. I think other people need it. How did you set all that up, man? It's amazing stuff. So, Two Wheel Rocket said, I don't really have a YouTube channel. Most of my videos are mostly just for me to remember. Good. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, and guys, don't count your phones out, man. These cell phones today, I bought some phone mounts to mount this phone, both ways for shorts, and I mount it for Instagram Reels, and I can turn it horizontal. I have a ring light I put this thing in. These phones, especially if you buy the wireless mic you can put on there and a lapel mic, there's a guy called Roy Moto Adventures. I don't know if you ever checked out Roy. He's a nice guy. I've met him a couple times. Check out his channel because he actually bought a new wireless lapel set off Amazon for like $20. And his audio is crisp and it's clear and it's for your phone, right? But it's wireless and $20. I mean, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong anyway with Amazon because if you get it and it doesn't work, send it back within 30 days and get your money back. So there you go. I have a cable to just power the GoPro and Instant 360. The older GoPros and 4K are just too much for them. Pete Motor Adventure said, yeah, you're right. And I don't record everything in 4K. That's the trick. Record in 2.7. And when you process your videos, upscale it to 4K. And YouTube sees it as a 4K video. They don't know what you did. They don't know you didn't shoot it in 4K. It's a trick. You can shoot in 1080p at 60 frames a second. Put it in your editor. When you process it, upscale it to 4K and send it to YouTube. And they post it as a 4K video. So, and it will look fine. It will look absolutely perfect. 4K, 1080 at 60 frame. So there's your options. You don't have to shoot everything at 4K, guys. That's big files, right? So, and I noticed on the GoPro, when I shoot 2.7, it breaks it up. If your video is 12 minutes, there'll be two different pieces in there. So now sync that up to your audio, right? That's a little difficult. Just some stuff. Yeah, my Dunlop said 2.7, 60 frames a second is nice. Right, yeah, 60 frames. And if you don't understand people, and I didn't understand frames for years, I'm going to try to wrap this up so I can get out of here. But framing is how many frames per second the video is capturing, right? So the idea there is if you're watching somebody's video in the back, and not the background, but the sides, watch the trees. If they're shaking and wobbling, they're shooting at 30 frames a second. If the scenery is smooth as they're riding, they're shooting at least 60 frames per second. So that's the difference between the frames. Plus, if you're shooting at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second, and you have something you want to slow mo, it will be easy to see that. So there you go. All right, Mike Bodine, good morning and good evening. My Dunlife's in there. Okay, we're out. Chuck Henson. All right, everybody. But let me take a cup of coffee before I close this show. Ricky KM, I started using my iPhone 14. Yeah, Ricky, I mean, the iPhones are great, man. They work great for video. All right. So thanks everybody for watching, and thanks everybody for helping, or at least sympathizing with me with motorcycle problems, right? Motorcycles, man-made machines will break. I tell my kids at school all the time. We work on computers, and they're like, well, why is it broken? I'm like, because some man made it, right? And it's going to break down. That's just simple fact of life. It's a machine, right? Same with our motorcycles, our Harleys, whatever. Even your cars can break down. But guys, thank you so much for watching today. I do appreciate it. Please come back each and every week here, Saturday mornings. I'm on at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about motorcycles, motorcycle-related things, and just fun topics. So have a great day, everybody. Until next time, remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there. Harley Day Ride, go to French HDR. We'll be down and out in the beautiful HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Take care, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye for now, everybody.